Yo,
Yo.
welcome to the Hive Hustle, the captivating podcast about street culture, dance, hip hop, crump, roller skating, whatever I'm involved in. And yeah, man, anything that's helped me grow as a person.
It's official now. The Hive Hustle podcast about to sit you down. Go and fix your crown. This ain't a grain of salt. Pick your brain and thoughts, even through a major loss. Still remain a boss.
Today, I got a great guest by the name of Matthew Gob.
Hey, what's up?
He's
guys?
over here willing to meet with me, willing to have a good conversation, and really get to know each other, man. Welcome, bro.
Yeah, thank you,
Welcome.
man.
Let me get situated.
Yeah.
There we go. That's
we go.
better. Okay.
Favorite color.
So, first things first, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, bro. I just kind of woke up and made my way over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, that's always a great thing.
Yeah.
When you don't have anything crazy going on in the mornings. So, tell me first, who are you? Who's Matt Gob?
Who is Matt
Where
Gob?
Where you from?
Yeah.
What got you into dance
Okay.
and all that?
Okay, cool. I love this question because, like I told you before, this is my second time only being a guest
Okay.
on a podcast, so I love this question. But Matt Gob, I'm 29 years old.
Okay.
I'm from Chicago, Illinois.
Okay.
Born and raised there. I was there for about 16 years,
Mm-hmm.
and then I moved to Vegas.
Okay.
And I think in like 2011 or 2012.
Did you just say Chicago?
Yeah. Yep.
You know I was born there, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know
St.
that.
Anthony Hospital.
Okay. I was in Roseland
Okay.
Hospital.
Gotcha. Yeah, we lived on the south side, bro. That's where Mafioso comes from.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, my family was a part of the mafia out there.
Yo.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
That's dope. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah. See,
didn't know
that's
that.
why we do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chicago, when did you
Yeah.
move here?
2011.
Okay.
And then, yeah, when I came out, before I had moved to Vegas, I was just a B-boy. Like, I was just breaking.
Oh, really?
That's it.
First style.
I didn't know choreography at all. Like,
Wow.
I had two left feet pretty much. So a lot of people don't know that.
I
either,
didn't.
You know?
Dang,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Okay.
Yeah. And I mean,
Did you train in it, or was it just something you did for fun?
that's just what I did for fun. I mean, Jabberwocky's inspired like a whole like
Obviously.
generation of people.
Yeah.
Me included. So when they were on TV, I was in like the 8th grade. So that was like the coolest thing I had ever seen because I never really saw like Filipino men representation in that
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Like they just
For your
were never
culture, that's big, yeah.
They were never spotlighted like that until like they were, and then like everybody at school was talking about them like they were just the best thing ever.
They
So
were the household name
Yeah.
of hip hop dance.
so it felt good to feel like someone similar, like come from like a similar background, culture, household.
You could
that
relate.
that they could relate. So I was heavy into sports actually, all my life, like as a young kid, and I was actually on the football team, and I left because I like dancing more just by seeing them, and I kind of like lost the love for football, and then I shifted into b-boying,
Okay.
and then moved to Vegas, and then
So you moved to Vegas when 2011.
yeah.
How old were you?
Yeah, I was. I remember being a junior in high school because I
Got you.
did 2 years of high school in Chicago, and then 2 years to finish in Vegas.
Got you. Okay. So
Yeah.
what high school did you go to?
Coronado,
Oh my god.
Coronado High School.
Comedy.
That's
I'm
the
a chaparral kid, bro.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
a chaparral kid.
All right.
So the woman's prison, no windows. So okay, so you
hilarious.
went to high school, so you have a little bit of history in Vegas.
Yeah.
How'd you get involved with the dance scene in Vegas?
So they had a dance team, like an all-male dance team program in Coronado, and
Okay.
they never had that in Chicago. Like I would think that they had like some
Yeah.
sort of dance integrated into the school program, but it was just more clubs still.
Yeah, makes sense.
But then when it came out to Vegas, they were like, oh, they have a dance team, and I'm like, okay, it's probably just all girls,
Yep.
because that's what I was used to. And then they
That's more or less what you see in Vegas
yeah.
too.
And then they were like, no, it's an all-male dance team. I'm like, oh, I've never heard of that before. Like
Yeah.
where I'm from in Chicago, they don't do that. Or at least they don't really
Push
pay attention and push
Yeah.
it. So it's part of like like a team sport more so than a club.
Yeah.
But in Coronado they did. So it was a PE credit. I'm like, well, what am I doing PE first class in the day? Like that's
I'd
rough.
rather dance.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I'd rather dance the sixth period than first period PE.
Yeah.
So I took that credit and then started doing choreo from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you did that in choreo in school. How did you get in? Because obviously school, back then in 2011, 2012, school was different than the actual Vegas dance scene.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion.
Yeah.
So how did that integration happen?
So that integration happened when I became a senior.
Okay.
I auditioned for Mekami.
Oh,
this
the
is where
OG
it hits.
crew.
Yeah, this is where it hits right here. Yeah, so Mekami made in 2003.
Okay,
and they have been around in the
they
Vegas
OG
scene.
bro.
Yeah.
Mekami's the OG. Like, if I'm not mistaken, besides Culture Shock, from my understanding, I might be wrong, but 2003 was like the first like real choreo crew in Vegas.
Yeah,
was Mekami.
Yeah, Mekami.
Because you had Mekami, and then if I'm not mistaken, right after that, I just talked to Troy yesterday.
Yeah,
was High Profile.
Yeah,
and then right at that time, Mecca created Hypnotics.
Yeah,
and then you had Culture Shock.
Yeah.
And from my understanding, like 2003 to 2006, that was like the first couple ones.
Yeah.
And then everybody else came after.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I remember.
Like, we had B-boy crews and we had freestyle crews in Vegas. Everybody was a freestyler and a B-boy. And like Crump like came in like early 2000s. But choreo, that's the first I heard of.
Yeah.
So you were definitely in an OG crew for sure.
Heck yeah. So that's how that happened.
Okay.
My cousin actually was on that team at the time, even before I had moved to Vegas, and she was already talking about it while I was still living in Chicago. So she was like, when you come out here, you're going to come and audition for Mekami. And so I did do that in 2011. I just first got here. I knew nobody. And I auditioned. Of course, the choreography, like there's still some videos out there, and the choreography, it looked bad, man. It looked all bad. Like,
we got to start somewhere.
We got to
right?
start somewhere. And it's so like, when I see it, I smile, and like I used to cringe, but the cringe factor goes away now because I'm like, that's where it started, and it's like humbling to see the journey because of where I'm at now with that. But yeah, it started in 2011, and funnily enough, I'm actually doing a Mekami alumni video with them this month.
Let's go. That's tight.
It had been like 6 years since
y'all,
and I just reconnected with them like last month. I stepped into that studio and like all those memories started rushing in.
Oh yeah.
And for me, it just makes me humbled to like see where I came from, and the fact that there's still such a big support foundation within them still.
Yes.
And
that's great when it comes down to Mekami. Like, one thing I can say, coming from a freestyle side, because I never was, like, besides learning a couple classes with Hypnotics, like, I was never a part of a choreo crew. Like, I'm a part of Dope Show now, but I'm so integrated with the Crump world that it's hard for me to be consistently training with them. You get what I'm saying? But like, outside of Hypnotics and Dope Show, I don't take choreo classes. So, but anybody that's a freestyle dancer in this city, if they're involved, they know what Mekami is. Yeah. And that's what I mean by, like, there's only a certain amount of crews that had a real strong foundation, and Mekami is one of them. When you hear Mekami, you literally know what it is. Yeah. It's 2023, and they've literally been a crew for 20 years now. Yeah. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Now, okay, so we know that obviously your choreography background comes from Mekami, and I did not know you were a b-boy, so that's dope to hear. What made you be a respiratory therapist?
Respiratory therapist.
Like, what? Like, you creative as heck.
Yeah.
Dancer. Chicago, Midwest, one of the best Midwest cities in my personal opinion.
Yeah. I agree 100%.
Like, the Bulls. That's all we got to say. Like, but respiratory, is it? I'm not being stereotypical. Please don't cancel me, YouTube. Is it because you're Asian?
It's official now. The Hive Hustle podcast about to sit you down. Go and fix your crown. This ain't a grain of salt. Pick your brain and thoughts, even through a major loss. Still remain a boss. Resonate with greatness. Celebrate creators. Ain't no blanket statements. Elevate then claim it. So amazed, I'm making the way for those in need. Mold the lane, showing change in a growing me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm like, go ahead.
Okay,
it's
no,
fine.
go ahead. You're
Well, yeah. So for people that don't know me, I am full Filipino.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I come from a family that they don't see creative and arts to be something supplemental. They and I don't necessarily blame my mother, because she's come from such a different hustle. Like her hustle was moving from, Philippines on her own, not knowing anybody, to a whole different country to make stuff happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To
Dude,
bring the opportunities.
I get you.
And I had this conversation with her recently, and I said, it's because of you, because of your hustle, your sacrifice, that I had the option to be able to do what I truly love.
Generational changes.
Exactly. And I was like, and I don't expect her, she understands more so now, but like back then it was hard for her to like make that connection, because she wasn't raised that way. She didn't find that success that way. Her love is within like the passion that drives her into do what she puts her mind to.
Yeah.
And that really transitioned to me. And that's why, like, my mother's like everything.
Yeah.
She is everything.
Oh,
So,
me too, bro.
Yeah.
I'm an only child.
Yeah.
I'm single mother.
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't have a father growing up,
Same.
which, don't get me wrong, I got great genes from him. I just went to the doctor like 3 weeks ago, bro. Only thing wrong with me is like vitamin D deficient.
Oh.
But besides that, no high blood pressure, no high cholesterol,
Healthy.
no. I got asthma, but that's because my mom smoked cigarettes her whole life
Yeah.
in my house, like when I was growing up.
Yeah, I
But
feel
that's
that.
bound to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I literally understand the thought process of having a mother that's a hustler.
Yeah.
Because my mom took the bus from Boulder Highway in Flamingo to Circus in the early 90s, and she worked graveyard shift to make $15 an hour back then,
Yeah.
because she was a cage cashier. And taking the bus, bro, like taking Flamingo up to Las Vegas Boulevard, taking the Las Vegas Boulevard bus, like,
Yeah.
bro, at 30 something years old, when you got a 7-8-year-old, like, that's not easy.
Yeah, that's not.
I'm grateful for the position I'm in, but they work so hard to get us where we're at.
Right.
Got you. So, respiratory therapist.
Yeah.
Did you have to go to school like tremendously for that, or?
It was an accelerated program, so nurses go to school the same amount of time as well, 2.5 years.
Okay.
But we don't have any breaks of like, maybe if it's like a Christmas break, it's maybe like that weekend
days,
or
yeah.
like that couple days, but it's all throughout the year. So,
Got you.
we're doing lectures, and then we go to our externships. I've externed in like all these hospitals out in Vegas Valley. I've worked in 2 major hospitals.
You did the whole COVID thing too,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. From the beginning to like pretty much the very last wave of COVID, I was
Working
on the front
consistently.
lines. Respiratory therapist. We're up
Thank
in
you.
there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting at a desk doing marketing for a company at that time.
Yeah.
I was there at their office, but I was nowhere. They tried to call me a front line. I was like, ain't no front line. I'm sitting in a room by myself doing marketing.
Yeah.
You're front line.
Yeah.
Like, thank you, bro.
Yeah.
From the bottom of my heart. You know what I'm saying? Now, shifting back to your creative side, what's Experience LV?
Experience LV is something that I also made. It kind of curated and came to fruition during the pandemic.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So it was a dream of mine to host a dance convention, more so on the choreo side, and just bring in teachers and like have that scene, like something from Vegas, Vegas made, and
We don't
just
have
to have
a lot.
yeah, because we don't have a lot. We have conventions that come into town,
But we don't
all
have
the
ours.
time. But we don't have Vegas,
Yeah.
and it's like a community for the community kind of thing, and that we could be proud of, and that people can like come back and be like, hey, are you going to experience this year? Kind of thing. And it's like, that's something we could be proud of.
Yeah.
And what we were talking about a little bit on the side earlier is like building that culture. You know what I mean? You and I like both understand this fully, but we're here building a culture, a Vegas culture, because compared to like a Chicago and New York, it's not as old. It's not as like as much history. But the thing is with that is that people just count them out. Like coming from a different city into Vegas, when I first came here, the stereotype was always there is no culture, or they're always being counted out and stuff. And like, people really don't understand that, because living here for 12 years now, and you've been here longer, like, people don't understand how much Vegas is a gym.
Yeah.
And they just think, oh, it's the Strip.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're not on the Strip, there ain't nothing else here.
Yeah, there's so much to do.
It's like, people they can't get over that.
Yeah.
It's also kind of like hot and cold. They're like, Vegas gets cold? I'm like, man, you don't even know, bro.
Vegas,
You don't even
Vegas
know.
rains? You don't
I
even
was like,
know.
man, you don't even know, man.
Not on the
And
day it's supposed to rain.
Yeah.
But 2 weeks later.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like just like recently, like it recently happened.
That's what I mean. Literally, that's what I'm mentioning.
Yeah.
Hurricane Hillary. Nah, we're not going to hit you today. 2 weeks later.
2 weeks later, we're gonna.
We
come
love
with
you. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But,
So,
okay.
Yeah, I feel like there was.
So is it just a convention? Because I know you have a podcast too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So it started as a dance convention, but then I started to branch it out into like. Because I started getting to the topics of the avenues of LLC and like and all that stuff, and I started to learn about that and to realize again, like, and it can go to a lot of things, but instead of captivating yourself in this box, like you can use your talent or what you're known for, or just the knowledge that you've accumulated throughout the years, and it can go into different avenues, and you can use that as the bridge to bring more awareness and more outlets and more resources to what you love. And people kind of like stick in their box a lot of the time.
I'm a dancer.
Yeah, I'm a dancer, and this is what I do, and this is what I breathe, and this is what I die for. It's like, yeah, we get that, but like,
what else?
Yeah, what else? Like, there's more that you can do, like we can do, like everybody can, and you know, it in that way, it always just brings more to the thing that you love, and why not? You know.
And I feel like podcasting, videography, photography, design, whether that be web, graphic, digital, print, just creative genes in general, all of us dancers have them.
Yeah.
Like if I give a dancer Photoshop, they could probably learn it in a couple months, because that's the creative gene that they have in themselves. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like you're right. Like Swarm Brand started off as a clothing line. Now it's a digital marketing agency. I have a podcast. I throw an R&B event. I have a clothing line, and not only that, I have like a physical space for people to rent.
Yeah.
So literally one idea turned into 5 different brands. So I totally get it. And I'm hoping for the best, because in reality, I love the name Experience Dance LV, because I feel like you're experiencing dance in
Las
LV.
Vegas. Yes.
Like that's so dope to me.
Yeah, it makes you feel proud of like that. And
our city.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I was to say, like, that's for everybody. It's not me. It was just I was the person to like.
You're
to create that.
you're the director of the avenue, but the avenue's for everybody.
But it's all for it's for Vegas.
And that's the same thing what Swarm Brand is, man. I feel like all of us have these little brands that we have, and if we cultivate them, this city will become massive.
Yes. Yep.
So, okay. Now, I want you to tell me, breathing is crucial in respiratory therapy.
Yeah.
Right? Breathing is crucial in dance. So, obviously, both of your careers have to do with breathing in a sense.
Yeah.
What techniques have you built to improve your breathing in dancing?
Yeah.
Or have you?
Yeah.
Have you? You
Yeah,
get what
yeah.
I'm saying?
I think it's a great question, because I implement it when I teach my dance classes or workshops when I'm out in different cities. Funnily, now that you say that, because I do incorporate that all the time, because of just, I think it starts with the base knowledge of knowing like how your lungs work, cardiopulmonary, so like with the heart as well, and the fact that they're so close to each other in your body, that they're so close coinciding that they work together. So if you get nervous, you start breathing faster, your heartbeat starts going faster, because they're so closely coinciding. So as a respiratory therapist, it's actually considered a specialty, a cardiopulmonary specialty. Nurses do like the IVs and all this stuff, because people just think it's nurses and doctors. That's it.
No, there's a whole...
Yeah, there's a whole team and big grand scheme of things. But to go back to it, just understanding what the lungs do and what the oxygen really does for your body. So like if I'm dancing and I'm forgetting about my breath work, if I'm not being aware, and it comes with experience too.
Yeah.
It comes with experience being more like aware instead of being like tunnel vision and like,
Yeah.
I got to do the
Like
dance. I got to
choreography,
do this.
yeah.
Or for whatever that is, you got to be more body conscious and aware of the breathing, because if you're going to restrict your breathing, then you restrict your movement in lots of ways. And I like to tell my students in class that if you're holding your breath and you're not realizing your breath work, you're not giving access to your body to do everything that it can, because your muscles need to get that oxygen from your feet all the way here. But you have to let that gas exchange happen with the oxygen in your alveoli and your lungs, and then it goes to the rest of the body. But if you're over here forgetting about the breath work, then everything else is going to go down like a domino effect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you have to breathe.
Yeah, I was going to say, the moment somebody feels like they can't breathe, and you can attest because you have asthma, everything else starts to go down quick.
Literally.
And then that's it. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, breath work is very important. And there's ways to do it. And I think you just got to really be comfortable with your body and like the situations that you're in that you find that you're not breathing, you know, and that you're forgetting that.
And that's what I've noticed in my like personal journey is like when I do lab now, because I've been consistently labbing like every Friday for like the past year. So what I work on is like being able to not just move my body differently, but like when I'm in this position, do I feel good breathing? When I'm in this position, do I feel differently? You know, like I feel like breathing is the last thing people think about when they're dancing, and it should be the first.
Yeah, it really should. Yeah,
you know, so that's crazy, man. Like I just thought it was crazy the coinciding of like you being a dancer and you having to breathe, and then you're a respiratory therapist. So it was like it was a really crazy like point together. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So now. Within hip hop, because obviously you're a break dancer, obviously you're a choreographer. Outside of breakdancing, is there any other styles that like intrigue you more, or that you would like to learn, or that you want to get into, or do you feel like you're where you're at and you're what you want to have? Yeah.
Well, popping is always going to be a love for me.
I remember you training with Boogie D for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say training with Boogie D, for like a couple months, and I just love the art of popping. It's a timeless style, and like I could watch that all day. Like besides b-boying, I can watch popping all day. Like it's dope, and just to see like comparing it to breakdancing, like or to b-boying, that the preservation, like I see like, you know, people still popping and they're like 70, 80. I'm like, yo, that's
one thing
so
about popping and like certain styles that I'm grateful for. Because if you're not using your body totally, like breakdancing, you could do it for a long period of time. Like when I'm probably in my 50s, I could probably still throw a crump round. It won't be as effective, but I could still throw it. Breakdancing,
that's hard.
You're
that's
probably
tough.
only going to be able to top rock.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm
maybe
like.
a 6-step, but depending on if you can get to the ground.
And another style I love to watch is tap.
Really,
I love watching tap. It's such an older style, but like it tells so many stories. Just like crump too. I was gonna have this list of everything.
Yeah,
I'm a lover of movement.
Hip hop in general to me is a really great style. And a lot of people say, well, crump isn't hip hop. No, it is. Like I'm saying it on wax. Crump is a version of hip hop. Like literally, like the music, it was derived from hip hop. You get what I'm saying? Like we were dancing to sped up hip hop tracks before we had our own crump tracks. So but that's cool, man. I'm glad that your knowledge isn't capped. You're still wanting to learn, because I feel like as dancers, that's why I got in the dope show, to be totally frank with you, because I was like, I felt like I was hitting a cap and I'm like, I need to learn, but I like camaraderie. I don't like to just go to classes that I don't know people. That's why most of the people I interview, I know them personally, or I've done a gig with them, or we've linked before, or we've kicked it, because in reality, like that's how I can build a conversation. If I don't know anything about you, I don't really want to like, unless if I feel the need to get to know you, that's different. But like, I'm really big on community and camaraderie. So that's why I ended up getting in Dope Show, because I've known Brandon since District opened.
Yeah. Under the radar
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like when I was teaching at District in 2012, 2013, Brandon was the intern.
Yeah.
Like
I
literally. So, but man, now this is the last question, but this has been great, dude, just to say.
Yeah.
As someone with like diverse skill sets, obviously, you know, medical, you know, healthcare, you know, dance, you know, creative. What's the next steps? Like, what do you have planned? What do you got going on? What's Matt Gob doing?
Yeah. Well, the next step right now is I'm actually focusing on my own podcast as well. I got my first season redistributed onto Roku channel, Amazon Fire.
Cool.
WCETV
Well, we got to talk
app
because I want to get this distributed too.
Yeah.
So let's talk.
No,
after
most
this.
definitely.
Okay.
And like it's a world that I'm still learning and all that, because TV network is a little different. Like when it comes to format, when it just comes to like way of shooting, it's slightly different than just like podcasts or like YouTube.
Totally
but
different.
So with that, I've been really focusing on my second season because we were able to redistribute season 1. It's out there now on the internet. And season 2 is going to be really focused on the Vegas entertainment industry.
Okay.
Because season 1,
it's building right now.
yeah, because season 1 was very focused on like, let me pull from like different kinds of aspects instead of like dance. Let me learn from like this local realtor that, or let me like from this and from that, a rapper, this and that.
Yeah.
And season 2 is specifically on Vegas entertainment industry because it's like, well, yeah, why not? Like we do know about that topic.
Yeah.
I know about that topic, and it's like you could bring in all these people and like get an insight of that. So that's like what's going on right now. And then simultaneously still working and booking with dance.
Okay.
But they also wanted to shoot a documentary. And this is in the works, and it's going to be like years in the works. This is like our first year like writing script and like doing all that, but it's called Front Line to Front Row. And it's like my story on the COVID pandemic and everything that I had been through that, more in an in-depth detail, and then into my transition of not leaving the profession, but like just kind of having it on hold. Like I still have my license to practice and I still keep it up and all that stuff, but I put it on the backseat for now to pursue my dance profession and like be in the shows that I'm in and do the gigs and do all that. Yeah,
because you're in Illuminate, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so I left that profession not knowing anything yet, and I was just doing auditions, and I just kind of jumped and see if I could fly. And so that is what that documentary is going to be about.
That's going to be dope. Well, I look forward to it, man.
Thank you.
Well, hey, this has been great, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
appreciative of you. Y'all go ahead and like, subscribe, get us into the algorithm. Follow him, Matthew Gob, on Instagram, Experience Dance LV. Look it up. Yep. This has been episode 5. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a good one. We'll see y'all soon.
See you, mate.
It's official now. The Hive Hustle podcast about to sit you down. Go and fix your crown. This ain't a grain of salt. Pick your brain and thoughts, even through a major loss. Still remain a boss. Resonate with greatness. Celebrate creators. Ain't no blanket statements. Elevate and claim it. So amazed, I'm making the way for those in need. Mold the lane, showing change in a growing me.